Chapter 1. Muscular pain is not what we've been taught. We must begin with the physical component of pain. There are two reasons for this. The first reason is that the physical seems to be the easily accessible gateway to emotions and thoughts. The second reason is that it is the part of pain about which people have so many perniciously incorrect beliefs. Having false beliefs about muscular pain will make it impossible to ever release pain and achieve a desirable way of living. Chronic muscular pain is not what we've been taught to believe it is. We were taught as soon as we began to investigate muscular pain that it is a condition of the muscles themselves. We were taught that muscular pain involves tight, inflamed muscles, possibly with adhesions and scar tissue, and therefore it made total sense when we were taught that the correct treatment is to stretch them, to take anti-inflammatories, to get massaged in order to soften the muscles and break up the scar tissue. We were taught about causes, that muscular pain is caused by such things as repetitive strain injury, where the muscles are used too much, and inactivity, where the muscles are used too little. We were taught that bad posture causes muscular pain, as does moving incorrectly, sitting wrong, standing wrong, bending wrong, squatting wrong, lying down wrong, holding your head wrong, holding your shoulders wrong, and so on. However, this is all mythology. It is entirely false information. False because it looks only at the symptoms of muscular pain and doesn't even begin to address anything close to a root cause. This book is about tracking the root cause all the way down to its depths. Every single day, probably more than 1 billion people ingest false information about muscular pain from people who call themselves massage therapists, physiotherapists, personal trainers, doctors, sports physicians, chiropractors, and so many other names. Recently, fitness YouTubers are heavily involved. What do their teachings all have in common? Every single one of these people believes that muscular pain is caused physically and should be treated physically. Because of this belief, literally almost every person in the world believes that their muscular pain has some physical cause and they seek a physical solution. Even in the case of a destructive physical injury, while of course the acute transient muscular pain is caused physically, the chronic muscular pain that persists years or decades later, long after the physical tissues have had a chance to heal, is no longer of physical cause. If you were to go onto YouTube and search neck pain or back pain or hip pain or any other pain term related to muscles or joints, you will find an unlimited supply of videos about how muscular pain is caused by bad posture, inactivity, sitting too much, bending wrong, repetitive strain injury, and so on, and then repeating the same old tired false solutions. The most common false solutions are stretching, foam rolling, lacrosse ball rolling, strengthening, and activating. If these approaches really worked, you would have already been cured a long time ago. The continued existence of your muscular pain is evidence that the solutions you've been exposed to thus far are incorrect. The endemic fiction about muscular pain began around the 1950s. A physician by the name of Vladimir Janda, creator of the Janda approach, introduced an incorrect theory called the theory of muscular imbalance. This theory states that pain occurs when some muscles in the body become tight and overactive, while others become weak and underactive. Therefore, the solution is to stretch the tight, overactive muscles and strengthen the weak, underactive muscles. This theory has held progress in the treatment of muscular pain back for decades. Why? Because it's quite easy to understand, easy to explain, and seems to make so much sense. Two major applications of this theory are upper cross syndrome and lower cross syndrome. In the supposed upper cross syndrome, the upper back is slouched and the neck is pulled forward, supposedly due to tight chest muscles and weak upper back muscles. Therefore, the prescribed solution is to stretch the chest muscles and strengthen the upper back muscles. In the supposed lower cross syndrome, the pelvis is tilted forward and the lower back is excessively curved, supposedly due to tight hip flexors and weak glutes. Therefore, the prescribed solution is to stretch the hip flexors and strengthen the glutes. See how this makes so much sense. An innocent visitor to the physiotherapist assumes that the physiotherapist has a correct understanding of muscular pain, and so when the physiotherapist confidently explains this incorrect model, the patient thinks they're hearing the truth. The patient thus goes to perform stretches and strengtheners as instructed, but it's almost certain that they'll be back under the assumption that they didn't work hard enough, didn't stick to the routine, or didn't do the exercises correctly. The physiotherapist either explains again or suggests maybe it's a different muscle that is the root cause, and that's the one we need to target. Often the patient ends up on an absurd quest to correctly identify the root cause dysfunctional muscle in their body and may remain on this quest for decades. They search for the perfect stretch or the perfect strengthener which will make their pain go away. Unfortunately, it will never be found. Why? Because there is no stretch or strengthener that will heal muscle pain. Because stretching and strengthening are purely physical approaches and therefore cannot interface with the root cause of muscular pain. Vladimir Janda did actually begin to move toward the truth late in his career, but very few people know about this. Janda at least suspected that the cause of muscular imbalances came from the central nervous system, and he did come up with exercises that take this into account. Exercises that address balance, stability, and coordination began to appear. However, even though this is an innovation in the correct direction, it was for the most part totally ignored, and all that really survives is the stretch and strengthen model. Today, professionals rummage around the body, finding weak muscles and tight muscles, prescribing strengtheners and stretches, while also massaging the muscles. Summary of this chapter. Almost all fitness advisors take a purely physical approach. They believe that muscular pain is a condition of the muscles themselves. The theory of muscular imbalance is the central theory of purely physical approaches. Stretching and strengthening as purely physical approaches cannot heal muscular pain. Exercise 1. Smile. There is almost certainly significant chronic muscular tension in the muscles of your face. Your ability to do many, if not all, facial expressions is prevented by chronic muscular tensions that were voluntarily ordered during the many experiences of your life. They limit expression, limit feeling, and limit action. As you learn to smile, you will learn the nature of the chronic muscular tensions that inhibit your potential for a natural, wonderful smile. As you become aware of such tensions, you will accept that tensions also limit all facial expressions and all bodily expressions. Begin with a small smile. Pull the corners of your mouth apart while leaving your lips sealed. Focus deeply on the muscles around your face and try to notice any tension. Ask yourself, what is that tension? Why do I feel it? After you have explored that experience, move to a huge smile. Smile fiercely with every muscle of your face. Again, notice tensions and ask yourself what the tension is and why it exists. Eventually, you may look at yourself in the mirror while you do these smiling exercises. Observe your face and ask yourself, why does my face look like that? What does my facial expression reflect about my character and my way of living? Remind yourself that everything is okay, and realize that in the future your smile and face may come to resemble your ideal vision of them.